Hello there. We need to thickness the headstock, but first what we're going to do is sharpen the blade of our plane. Now, this is not something a lot of people show very much of unless they're doing a purpose-driven sharpening video to show you how to sharpen. But I think it's important that you understand that your plane blade, your chisel, or whatever it is that you're using, no matter what kind of steel you got in it, it's not going to stay sharp forever, okay? You need, if you're going to work with hand tools, you need some kind of sharpening skill, whether it's like this, hand sharpening, or whether it's some type of jig or system. A dull blade is no good to anyone, and it's just going to cause you untold amounts of problems. The thing of it is, though, is sharpening a tool so that you can use it takes very little time to actually do, and it's well worth the doing. So I have sharpening videos on this channel, and if you want to know my methods, that kind of deal, then I would refer you to them. But you need to be able to sharpen your tools. And now I realize that this will make my videos longer. And the thing of it is, if you're looking for a channel that has little 10 or 12 minute videos and that's all that you ever see, this is the wrong channel for you. And I don't mean that in a negative sort of way. I'm just saying, listen, lovely, it's become common these days for people to have a short attention span. They don't want to take the time to watch someone who's got a longer video. They want the information. Give me the information right now so I can be an expert. Well, good luck with that. If you are the kind of person that cannot take the time necessary to truly learn, the thing of it is there's going to be all kinds of people on the internet, on YouTube, and various other places that'll show you a little 10-minute video or a little 8-minute video on how to do this and how to do that, and they're more often than not demonstrating their skill as opposed to trying to teach you a skill. There's a difference. I know a lot of people don't get it, but if you can't give someone time enough to explain to you what it is that they're doing, if that's something that you just can't take the time to do, then you are robbing yourself. You truly are. And you're not ever going to really achieve a whole lot. So what I want to do here, there's a lot of unevenness due to the hand cut nature of this scar joint, particularly the skill level of the guy that cut it. And I need to flatten and smooth this out. And then I need to bring the headstock down to 7/16. I want 9/16. Yes, I use imperial measurements. Convert it yourself if you're using metric. I don't have time for it. Okay. I want a 9/16 thickness. That's pretty much a standard thickness for a headstock. And I'm using a front head plate and a back strap to basically hide this joint and to reinforce the headstock, reinforce this joint. And they're going to be a 1/60 of an inch thick either side, give or take a little bit. So I want a 7/16 or thereabout thickness to the headstock in order to facilitate that. The wall is beautiful, and that's a fact. I'm going to come from the back now and kind of sort of even things out. So I've got this, the blank clipped. I've got it the thickness I want it at the headstock, that kind of deal. I've got it marked out on this, the neck marked out on this. I used the template, a pre-existing template that I built for electric guitars. That has the scale length and all of that, the dimensions that I want for this, and I'm going to take a skill saw or a jigsaw and cut that out. I cut this fairly close, about a 1/16 of an inch. I don't want to have to take off any more than I have to, but when we get around the curves of the headstock here, you have to understand this blade will flex like that as you cut curves. So you have to allow for that. So I cut wider there because I don't want to mess up flat out. And this is a jigsaw, so we're not talking an exact science. Also, I don't know if you can see my face, but I have a dust mask and a set of goggles on. I really think your eye protection is important, but I really think a lot of builders, particularly in the beginning, misjudge how really important it is to protect themselves from wood dust. I know that I did. And the last thing you want is to start loving building guitars and then become sensitized to a particular type of wood that causes you issues, allergy issues, allergic issues that can be fairly serious. And then your luthier career is over before it begins. For templates, I use double stick tape. You can use whatever you want. I won't criticize you for it. But I prefer double stick tape. And that's what I'm going to use. To each his own. There's a million different ways to skin a cat. This is my way. This stuff works just fine for me. Now, if I have a failure with it, then I will look at why. But if I'm careful with this to make sure that I get It's stuck down like it's supposed to be. Don't have any issues. Your mileage might vary. And the router is most likely one of the deadliest or most dangerous, or however it is you want to put it, tools that you will use. It spins, I think it's something like 6,000 RPM, and it does not forgive mistakes. If you think it doesn't forgive, you know, a template slipping or something like that, if you get your hand, your body, or your clothing so that it can draw your body in, or anything like that in the way, that's lovely. Hold on. Woohoo! Tear it up. Don't do that. Make sure that you start the router and then move the cutter into the wood. You'll thank me later. One of the other things you can do is take little bites. I don't have to take too much of a bite. I know that too little of a bite, because I know that the material that I left is not enough to overpower this router. Or cause any significant issues with what it is that I'm doing. So, but if you leave a lot of material, make several passes. Don't try to hog it all off in one. Alright, see how that climbed off there? It just grabbed the wood and climbed. I forgot. I need to come this way on this part of the wood. Lovely. unplug it in. You should, that's a good thing. It means that I unplugged the router. That's a huge, huge thing. You should, anytime you start fussing around with a router or any power tool, unplug it. Flat out, unplug it. Don't play games with your life. Or your hands and feet. It's not worth the 2 seconds that you're going to save not unplugging that. It's not worth the fingers or the eye or the hand or whatever it is that you're going to lose, potentially lose. Don't do it. Beautiful. All right. Smack that router bit on my bench, my device. Hopefully not badly. There we go. It'll need a little bit of touch up. Along the edges here. I don't know if you can see. It'll need some touch up, but For all intents and purposes, we have a neck. Lovely. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.